The starship Endeavour glided silently through the blackness of space. Its sleek frame reflected the distant glimmers of distant stars, and its crew moved with purpose. Inside the bridge, Captain Alex Rains stood tall, hands lightly resting on the control console. His eyes, sharp and steady, scanned the readings on the holographic display before him. Beyond the glass, the planet Zythera rotated slowly, a swirling mass of green and violet continents under a lavender sky. "This is it," said Lieutenant Mara Chen, her voice quiet but tinged with excitement. "Zythera, first contact."
"Are we ready for what's coming?"
Alex turned his head slightly, meeting her gaze. "We've trained for this, Mara. We're ready. Just remember, observe first. Make them see we're not a threat, but we're not afraid either." Mara nodded. The ship descended into orbit, the hum of engines soft against the backdrop of the endless void. From orbit, Zythera looked serene, almost peaceful. Yet Alex knew better. Stories from scouts and intercepted communications painted a different picture. Zythera's inhabitants were warriors, tall, muscular, with reflexes and speed that made human soldiers look small in comparison. Their technology was ancient but perfected over millennia, combining strategy with raw power. Inside the alien control towers, Commander Lyra looked out over her city with a sense of amusement. She was tall, her skin shimmering like polished stone, and her eyes glowed faintly under the violet light. Her warriors, trained for combat since birth, stood at attention around her. "Humans," she said, her voice smooth but dripping with disbelief. "They think they can stand among us. They look so fragile." Her laughter echoed softly through the halls, and the soldiers around her exchanged knowing glances. None dared challenge her. Lyra had led Zythera in countless victories, proving time and again that her species' warriors were unmatched. Yet something about these humans intrigued her. Perhaps it was their audacity, or perhaps it was curiosity. On the bridge of the Endeavour, the communications officer activated the translator. "Commander Lyra," he said, "this is Captain Alex Rains of the Human Exploratory Fleet. We come in peace and seek dialogue." There was a pause, long and measured, before Lyra responded. Her voice carried both amusement and authority. "Dialogue? With humans? We will see if your presence deserves the name. Land on the plains of Zethar and prove your intentions. But do not mistake this for weakness, human. We do not tolerate fools." Alex nodded to his crew. "Prepare the landing craft. We'll show them we're not here to fight. Unless we must." The descent was tense. The humans moved carefully, keeping their weapons holstered and gestures non-threatening. The landing plane stretched before them, vast and open, lined with crystal-like towers that shimmered in the strange light of Zythera's twin suns. A small contingent of alien warriors awaited them, their forms tall, intimidating, and perfect. As Alex stepped onto the ground, he felt the gravity difference immediately. Zythera was slightly denser than Earth, making each movement heavier, but he adjusted quickly. He stood upright, shoulders squared, eyes forward. His crew fanned out behind him, calm but ready. Lyra approached, her presence commanding attention. She walked gracefully, each step deliberate, her gaze never leaving Alex. "So this is the human warrior they speak of," she said, tilting her head slightly. "You carry yourself with confidence. Yet I see only fragility." Alex met her gaze steadily, a calm smile on his lips. "Commander Lyra," he said, "we may be different, but we are here to learn and share. Strength comes in many forms. Perhaps you will see that soon enough." The surrounding warriors murmured in disbelief. Few humans had ever stood with such poise in front of Zythera's elite. Most faltered, overwhelmed by the imposing presence of their hosts. But Alex seemed composed. Lyra raised an eyebrow, intrigued despite herself. "Very well," she said. "You will not win us with words alone. The arena of trials awaits. There your skills and your courage will be tested." The humans exchanged nervous glances, but Alex's expression never changed. "We are ready," he said simply. The group began the short journey to the arena, a massive structure carved from the planet's crystalline mountains. The walls gleamed in the sun, tall and smooth, etched with symbols representing centuries of warfare and honor. The arena itself was an open field surrounded by terraces where warriors would watch and judge every action. Inside, Lyra explained the trials. "You will face 3 challenges. The first tests your strength, the second your strategy, the third your adaptability. Fail and you will return to your ship without honor. Succeed, and you may earn respect." Alex nodded, absorbing every word. We understand, and we accept the challenge. The first trial began with a test of physical ability, weighted obstacles, climbing walls, and speed courses designed to push even Zithara's warriors to their limits. Humans moved cautiously at first, feeling the difference in gravity and muscle demands. But Alex encouraged his team, reminding them of Earth's ingenuity and the power of teamwork. While the aliens relied on brute strength and honed reflexes, humans demonstrated creativity. Mara used a rope in a clever way to swing across a pit faster than anyone expected. Another crew member, Sergeant Eli Torres, devised a simple pulley system that made carrying heavy objects easier. Their methods were different but effective. Lyra observed silently from above. At first she frowned, convinced humans would fail. But as each challenge passed, her disbelief grew. These small, fragile creatures were clever, resourceful, and calm under pressure. When the first trial ended, Alex approached Lyra again. "Not bad for a first attempt," he said modestly. Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly, but there was a flicker of respect. "You survive, human, but do not think this proves much. The next trial will test your mind, and your strategy must match your actions." The second trial was a simulation of a complex battlefield, where both humans and Zytherans had to solve a series of strategic problems to advance. Alien warriors moved instinctively, predicting enemy patterns with deadly accuracy. Humans, however, relied on observation, discussion, and improvisation. Alex's team adapted quickly, using deception, environmental tools, and clever coordination. They were slower at first, but their solutions were elegant, often surprising the Zitherans. Lyra found herself impressed despite herself, recognizing that humans had a different kind of intelligence, one that combined creativity with courage. By the end of the day, the humans had completed 2 trials, and even a few alien warriors whispered in astonishment. Lyra, though still proud of her species, could no longer dismiss them outright. As the sun set over the crystalline plains, Alex looked out across the arena. The humans were tired but steady, while the alien warriors observed silently. Lyra approached him once more. "You have survived more than I expected," she said quietly, almost to herself. "Perhaps there is more to your kind than I realized." Alex met her gaze, steady and calm. "Perhaps, but we have only just begun." The humans returned to their ship for rest, preparing for the final trial, unaware that their courage and ingenuity had already begun to shift Lyra's perception. And for the first time, she wondered if the legends of human weakness might not be entirely true. As night fell over Zythera, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting long violet shadows across the plains. Somewhere in the distance, a human and an alien warrior exchanged a look, an unspoken understanding forming. This was only the beginning of a story that neither species would forget. And so the humans had arrived. The aliens had laughed, but in the quiet of that alien night, even Commander Lyra could not ignore the faint spark of something new, something that might change everything she thought she knew about humans. The morning sun rose slowly over the crystalline plains of Zythera, casting long, shimmering shadows across the arena of trials. The twin suns painted the sky in shades of pink and lavender, their light glinting off the alien towers surrounding the field. Humans and Zytheran warriors stood ready, the air thick with anticipation. Captain Alex Rains adjusted his uniform and glanced at his team. They were still tired from the first trial, but the spirit in their eyes was strong. Lieutenant Mara Chen whispered, "They're going to make this one much harder than yesterday, aren't they?" Alex smiled slightly, his gaze fixed on the towering arena gates. "Of course. But that's the point. We didn't come here to show we are weak. We came to show we can adapt, think, and work together. That's what humans do best." The gates opened with a low hum, revealing the second trial, a sprawling battlefield that stretched farther than the eye could see. The ground was uneven, covered in strange rock formations, crystalline pillars, and shifting light patterns from the suns. Alien instructors explained the rules. Each team had to capture the flag of victory in the center of the field while avoiding traps, solving obstacles and outmaneuvering their opponents. Zytheran warriors moved immediately, instinct guiding them. They split into small squads, their movements fast and precise. Alex's team observed for a moment before acting. Unlike the Zytherans, humans did not rely solely on reflex or strength. They calculated, adjusted, and improvised. Sergeant Eli Torres pointed at a crystalline pillar in the distance. We can use that to block their line of sight. It'll give us cover, Mara nodded. Good idea. Let's make our moves count. The humans advanced carefully, communicating quietly. Each step was deliberate, each move planned but flexible. When the Zitherans attempted to flank them, Alex redirected his team using the terrain to their advantage. He noticed patterns in the alien movements, small details most would miss, and used that knowledge to anticipate their actions. Lyra watched from above, her arms crossed. She frowned, initially unimpressed by human strategy, but as the trial progressed, her expression shifted. These humans were not just reacting. They were thinking in ways Zitherans had never expected. They combined observation, timing, and collaboration in ways that no single alien warrior could achieve alone. At one point, Mara spotted a cluster of glowing crystals that could shift the battlefield's light patterns. Alex, if we activate these, we can blind their sensors temporarily, she whispered. Alex's eyes lit up. Do it, everyone, follow my lead. The humans moved as one, careful to stay hidden until the crystals activated. A sudden burst of light momentarily disoriented the Zitharan squad, allowing the humans to advance closer to the flag without being detected. The alien warriors recovered quickly, but it was clear they had underestimated their opponents. Lyra's brow furrowed. Interesting, she murmured. They think differently. Not stronger, not faster, but smarter. The trial continued, each side adapting constantly. Zitherans used their agility and raw power, rushing forward with precision. Humans countered with clever traps, coordinated maneuvers, and teamwork. They used the environment creatively, rock formations as cover, crystals as distractions, and even the arena's slight elevation changes to predict enemy movement. During one intense moment, Alex noticed a Zitharan squad attempting a surprise attack from above a cliff. With no time to climb or block, he devised a rapid solution. Mara, distract them with a flare. Eli, take the left flank. I'll guide the rest to the center. The humans executed the plan flawlessly. The flare drew attention while Alex's team circled from the left, using the shadows and uneven terrain. By the time the Zitherans realized what was happening, the humans had already secured key positions, forcing the aliens into defensive maneuvers. From the observation terrace, Lyra could no longer hide her amazement. These humans, fragile in appearance, demonstrated ingenuity, courage, and adaptability beyond what she had imagined. She had led thousands of warriors, but none had combined strategy and creativity as effectively as these few humans. Hours passed, and the trial reached its climax. The flag of victory stood in the center, shimmering with an alien light that signaled the end of the challenge. Both teams approached cautiously, calculating each step. Alex and his team moved in perfect synchronization, using every advantage they had learned throughout the trial. At the final moment, a Zitharan warrior lunged toward the flag, attempting to snatch it first. Alex reacted instantly, intercepting the warrior with a calculated move that used momentum rather than force. He caught the warrior off balance, gently guiding them aside without causing harm, and reached the flag. The humans had succeeded, not by overpowering the aliens, but by outthinking them. The arena erupted in quiet murmurs, a mixture of surprise and admiration. The Zitharan warriors, though not defeated in the traditional sense, acknowledged the human skill. Lyra stepped forward, her usual stern expression softened by respect. Humans, she said, her voice echoing across the arena, you have surprised me. Your strength is not in muscle, but in mind, coordination, and courage. I underestimated you. Alex bowed slightly, a gesture of respect rather than submission. We are not here to compete, Commander. We are here to learn and perhaps teach. Strength comes in many forms. Lyra studied him, her eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Perhaps? You are right. The final trial will test your true adaptability. Only then will I know if your kind can truly stand among warriors. The humans returned to their camp exhausted but proud. The first two trials had proven more than they could have hoped. They were not only surviving, they were earning respect. Even from the most skeptical of Zitherans. That night, under the twin moons of Zithara, Alex and Mara sat beside the glowing campfire, reflecting on the day's events. I didn't expect them to react so strongly, Mara admitted. I thought we'd just make it through somehow, but they actually respect us now. Alex smiled faintly. Respect is earned, Mara, not given. Today we showed them that humans are more than what they expected. But the final trial, that will be the real test. We'll need every bit of skill, patience, and teamwork we have. In the distance, Lyra observed their camp from a high tower, hidden from view. Her mind was occupied, unusually restless. They have potential, she whispered to herself. Potential and courage. Perhaps humans are not as weak as I once believed. Meanwhile, in the alien city, the news of the humans' performance spread quickly. Young warriors debated the outcome, some in disbelief, others inspired. Even the elders, who had long dismissed humanity as insignificant, began to speak cautiously of their ingenuity. Back at the camp, Alex stood and looked toward the horizon. The twin suns dipped lower, casting violet shadows across the plains. We've made them see a glimpse of what humans can do, he said quietly. Tomorrow will be harder, but I believe we can face it. Together, Mara nodded, her eyes reflecting both fatigue and determination. Together, she echoed. As the humans rested unaware of the quiet shifts happening among Zitherans, Lyra's thoughts returned to the final trial. It would not only test strength and strategy, but adaptability, the ability to respond to the unexpected. And if humans could succeed there, they would not just survive Zithera. They would leave a lasting impression on the entire planet. The night deepened, stars glittering above like scattered gems, and the humans slept, readying themselves for what lay ahead. In the quiet of Zithera, a seed of respect and curiosity had been planted, and for the first time Lyra wondered if humans could truly become something more than she had imagined, warriors in their own extraordinary way. The arena of trials awaited. The final challenge approached, and the humans, small but resolute, would face it with courage, cleverness, and unyielding spirit. The day began quietly on Zithera, with the twin suns climbing higher in the lavender sky. Captain Alex Rains and his crew were preparing for the final trial of the arena when an urgent alert flashed across the human ship's console. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mara Chen. Her brow furrowed. "There's an anomaly approaching Zithera. Sensors indicate a massive energy storm moving fast toward the planet." Alex studied the readings. "It's enormous. It could reach the surface in hours. We need to act quickly." Meanwhile, far above the plains, Commander Lyra was already aware. The alien communication network buzzed with warnings. The storm was unlike anything Zithera had ever faced, a chaotic, swirling mass of raw energy capable of disrupting their cities, their technology, and possibly life itself. Lyra called her top officers together. "Prepare all defensive measures. We must protect the people, but these humans," she muttered under her breath. "Perhaps they can contribute in ways we do not yet understand." On the arena grounds, humans and Zitherans watched the sky darken as the first hints of the storm appeared. The energy shimmered like liquid light, moving unpredictably, casting a strange glow over the plains. For a moment, fear flickered across the faces of some Zitherans. They had never seen anything like it. Alex took a deep breath. "This changes the trial," he said. "We need to focus on survival first. Then we can show them how humans think under pressure." Lyra's eyes narrowed as she observed him. Most humans would panic in the face of such a threat, yet he remained calm, analyzing the situation with clarity. "Perhaps," she thought, "these humans are more resilient than I imagined." The humans quickly began coordinating with their Zitheran counterparts. Mara activated the ship's analytical programs, scanning the storm for patterns. "It's moving unpredictably, but it has a rhythm," she reported. "We can predict its next shifts if we work together." Eli Torres added, "We can use the terrain to channel parts of the storm away from populated areas. If we calculate the paths correctly, we can reduce damage," Lyra observed, silently intrigued. "They are offering solutions, instead of running. This is unusual for humans." Together, humans and aliens began organizing defenses. Zitherans erected energy shields around key structures, while humans used makeshift sensors to track storm movements. Communication between the species, once limited to formal words, became fluid. Humans suggested strategies, aliens implemented them, and the storm loomed ever closer. As the energy storm neared, bursts of chaotic lightning struck the plains, sending crystalline fragments flying and creating temporary hazards. The humans navigated the terrain carefully, adjusting to the heavier gravity and alien formations. Alex led the team with quiet authority, guiding both humans and Zitherans with a balance of observation and instinct. One of the most dangerous moments came when a massive surge of energy struck near the main defensive tower. The shockwave sent debris flying, knocking several Zithran warriors off balance. Humans leapt into action, forming barriers to shield them from harm. Alex reached the top of a small ridge and directed the defense. "Shift the shields left." "The next surge is coming from that direction." Lyra watched, her lips pressed tightly together. "They are directing my warriors," she muttered in disbelief, "and doing it efficiently." Hours passed and the storm intensified. The skies turned dark, pulsating with energy, while the ground shook beneath the combined force of the storm and the defense measures. Yet the humans remained steady. They observed, calculated, and adapted to each new twist the storm presented. Every suggestion Alex made, every maneuver Mara and Eli proposed, saved both lives and resources. In a particularly dangerous moment, a human sensor detected an unstable energy vortex forming near a populated area. "Alex," Mara shouted. "If it hits, it will destroy the East Settlement." Alex's mind raced. "Eli, reroute the energy shields to that sector." "Mara, deploy the sensor network to stabilize the readings. I'll coordinate with Lyra's units to evacuate civilians safely." Lyra, hearing the request, hesitated for a split second before nodding. "Do it, follow his lead." The humans and Zithrans worked in perfect coordination. Energy shields redirected, civilians were guided to safety, and the vortex dissipated without causing harm. Zithran soldiers exchanged astonished glances. These humans, who they once considered weak, had saved lives using intellect, quick thinking, and precise action. Lyra felt a shift within herself. The laughter she had once felt at the notion of human warriors now seemed distant. She had expected panic, weakness, and hesitation, but instead she saw courage, calmness, and determination. When the storm finally began to subside, the plains were scarred but intact. Some structures had minor damage, but lives were saved. Humans and Zithrans alike were exhausted, but the sense of achievement was palpable. Lyra approached Alex directly for the first time. "You and your team, your actions today were extraordinary. I cannot deny it. Humans are not what I believed them to be." Alex nodded respectfully. "We only did what we thought best. Strength is not always in power, Commander. Sometimes it is in courage, observation, and working together." Lyra studied him, her expression softening. For the first time, she saw the humans not as small, fragile creatures, but as beings capable of brilliance, courage, and leadership. "Perhaps there is much we can learn from you," she admitted quietly. The humans returned to their camp, exhausted but triumphant. Around the campfire, they reflected on the day. "We didn't just survive," Mara said, her voice low and thoughtful. "We helped them save their planet." Alex nodded. "And in doing so, we proved something else. Humans are more than appearances. We adapt, we learn, and we act when it matters most. That is our strength." In the distance, Lyra watched the human camp silently. For days, she had mocked their abilities. For days, she had assumed they were incapable of true bravery. But now she was reconsidering everything. She realized that the humans' ingenuity, patience, and courage were qualities Zithrans rarely saw, even among their best warriors. As the night fell over Zithra, the twin moons reflecting faint light on the plains, Alex sat quietly outside his tent. Mara joined him, sitting beside him without a word. Together they watched the stars, contemplating the events of the day. "The aliens are beginning to see us differently," Mara said softly. Alex smiled faintly. "Yes, and tomorrow the final trial will test us further. Not just in survival, but in adaptability. If we face it like we did today, we will leave a mark they cannot ignore." Inside her tower, Lyra stood alone, looking toward the human camp. "They are not warriors in our way," she whispered to herself, "but perhaps they are something greater. Something unique." And so, with the storm past and the planet safe, a new understanding had begun to take root. The humans had survived not through strength alone, but through courage, intelligence, and a willingness to act when others hesitated. Zithra's warriors had witnessed a new kind of bravery, one that was not bound by raw power, but by heart, ingenuity, and perseverance. The humans had arrived as strangers. They had faced laughter, doubt, and fear. But now they had earned respect. Tomorrow, the arena of trials would demand one final test. Strength, strategy, and survival had been demonstrated. What remained was adaptability in the face of the unknown. Alex stood, stretching his tired muscles, and looked at the horizon. We're ready, he said quietly. Whatever comes next, we face it together. That is what makes us human. Mara smiled, understanding the weight of his words. Together, she echoed. And in the silent night high above, Lyra considered the humans not as weak creatures to be mocked, but as beings capable of remarkable courage and insight. A spark of curiosity, respect, and perhaps admiration had begun to grow within her. The storm was gone. The challenge remained. And the humans, small but unyielding, had shown Zithara a glimpse of something truly extraordinary. The morning of the final trial arrived with a calm stillness over the plains of Zithara. The twin suns rose slowly, bathing the crystalline towers and the arena grounds in warm violet light. Captain Alex Raines stood at the edge of the human camp, looking toward the massive arena of trials. Today would determine whether humans could truly earn the respect of the Zitharan warriors. Lieutenant Mara Chen adjusted her gear, her eyes scanning the horizon. Alex, she said, her voice quiet but steady, this is it. The trial we've been preparing for. I can feel it in the air. This one will test everything we've learned. Alex nodded. Yes, strength, strategy, survival. We've faced them all. Now comes adaptability, and that is where humans truly shine. We stay calm, observe, and act. That's our advantage. The humans moved together toward the arena gates, their posture confident but respectful. Zitharan warriors lined the edges of the arena, watching silently. Among them, Commander Lyra observed closely, her expression thoughtful. She had seen humans survive dangerous trials and even help save her planet from the energy storm. Yet she knew the final challenge would push them further than anything before. The gates opened, revealing the arena. It was unlike anything the humans had faced so far. The ground was uneven and shifting, with pits that appeared suddenly, crystalline walls that could rise or fall, and hidden obstacles that demanded quick thinking. Holographic projections of alien creatures moved unpredictably across the field, testing both combat skills and decision-making under pressure. Lyra stepped forward, her voice carrying across the arena. This final trial will test your ability to adapt. You will face constant changes, unexpected dangers, and challenges that cannot be solved by strength alone. Show us your skill, human, and you may earn true respect. Alex took a deep breath and led his team onto the field. Stay alert, he whispered. Observe first, act second. Use the terrain, your minds, and each other. The trial began immediately. A holographic creature appeared, charging unpredictably toward the humans. Eli Torres reacted quickly, creating a small barrier using a portable device. Mara calculated a safe path around the creature, guiding the team past the danger. Alex directed them with calm authority, adjusting plans as the obstacles shifted beneath their feet. Lyra watched in silence, fascinated. The humans were neither the strongest nor the fastest, yet they moved with precision, courage, and intelligence. Each decision they made was deliberate, each action considered carefully. Suddenly, a portion of the arena floor collapsed, revealing a deep pit below. One of the humans stumbled, almost falling into the gap. Without hesitation, Alex reached out, pulling the teammate to safety. Good, stay together. Watch each other, he said. A series of shifting walls rose around them, creating a maze-like environment. The holographic creatures reappeared, moving in unpredictable patterns. Humans and Zitharans alike had to navigate carefully, but the humans adapted faster. Where Zitharan warriors relied on instinct and reflex, the humans relied on observation, quick thinking, and teamwork. Mara noticed a series of glowing symbols on the walls. Alex, these might indicate safe paths or hidden triggers, she said. If we follow them carefully, we can avoid hazards. Alex nodded. Good eye. Lead the way. The team followed the symbols, adjusting to sudden shifts in the arena. Holographic traps appeared, forcing the humans to think quickly. When one trap activated near Eli, he jumped instinctively, but also calculated the rebound, landing safely and ready to assist his teammates. The humans' combination of reflexes, strategy, and adaptability allowed them to navigate the maze more efficiently than the Zitharan warriors. Lyra's curiosity grew with each passing moment. She had trained warriors all her life, and she knew instinct was a powerful tool. Yet humans, small, fragile, untrained in their ways, were demonstrating a kind of intelligence and courage that Zitharans rarely saw, even in their best soldiers. As the trial progressed, a massive holographic wall appeared, splitting the team from the flag of victory. The humans paused, assessing the situation. The Zitherans charged forward instinctively, attempting to breach the wall with brute force. Alex shook his head. That won't work. Look around. There must be another way. Mara scanned the wall carefully. I see a pattern in the energy pulses. If we time our movement correctly, we can slip through the gaps without triggering the defenses. Alex nodded. Perfect. Team, follow my lead. Move with precision, not speed. The humans synchronized their steps, waiting for the exact moment when the energy pulses aligned. They slipped through the wall, narrowly avoiding detection, and continued toward the flag. Their coordination and calm under pressure were impressive, even to the Zitherans observing. Finally, the flag of victory stood before them, glowing softly in the alien light. One of the holographic creatures lunged unexpectedly, forcing Alex to react quickly. He guided his team, dodging and redirecting, and at the last moment Eli grabbed the flag, securing their success. The arena fell silent. The humans had completed the final trial not by overpowering the aliens or relying solely on reflexes, but by thinking, observing, and adapting. Their teamwork and ingenuity had allowed them to succeed where raw strength alone would have failed. Lyra stepped forward, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then she spoke, her voice clear and strong. Humans, she said, you have done what I believed impossible. You have faced every challenge, adapted to every danger, and succeeded through intelligence, courage, and teamwork. You are remarkable. Alex nodded respectfully. Thank you, Commander. We did what we could. Strength is not always about power. It is about heart, mind, and the ability to act when it matters most. The Zitheran warriors around them murmured in admiration. Even the young soldiers who had once mocked humans now looked at them with respect. A small spark of recognition spread through the crowd. These humans, though small and seemingly fragile, were capable of extraordinary bravery and cleverness. Lyra continued, her voice softer now. I laughed at the notion of human warriors, but I see now that I was wrong. You are not like us, yet you are strong in ways we rarely witness. I respect you, Alex Rains. And I respect your people. Alex smiled faintly. Respect is earned, Commander. We are honored to receive it. The humans returned to their camp, exhausted but triumphant. Around the glowing campfire, they reflected on the day's events. Mara looked at Alex with a tired but proud smile. We did it. We proved ourselves. Alex shook his head slightly, humility in his eyes. We only did what humans do best. We adapted. We stayed calm. And we worked together. That is what sets us apart. Eli chuckled softly. I never thought I'd hear an alien commander admit humans are strong and smart. Today was something else. The night air was cool and still, the twin moons casting faint violet light across the plains. Lyra watched the humans from her tower, her expression thoughtful. She had trained warriors for centuries, yet she had never seen courage, intelligence, and adaptability combined in this way. She realized that humans were not warriors in her traditional sense, but something different, something extraordinary. In the quiet of the night, the humans rested. They had faced the arena of trials and its final challenge, demonstrating more than physical strength. They had shown resilience, ingenuity, and the courage to act when the unexpected occurred. Lyra, standing high above, reflected on what she had witnessed. These humans, they may not be like us, but they are remarkable. Perhaps the galaxy underestimates them. Perhaps I underestimated them. For the first time, she felt a spark of curiosity mixed with admiration. The humans had not only survived, they had impressed, inspired, and changed her perception forever. Alex and his team sat together, quiet but aware of the impact they had made. The trials had tested their limits, and they had risen to each challenge. Strength, strategy, and survival were no longer just measures of power. They were measures of courage, intelligence, and heart. Tomorrow, new challenges would come. But tonight, the humans had earned something far greater than victory: respect, recognition, and a place in the hearts and minds of the Zitheran warriors. And as the stars glittered above the plains, it was clear that the humans' story on Zithera had only just begun. They had arrived as strangers, faced laughter and doubt, and emerged as beings capable of something truly extraordinary. The final trial was complete. The arena had witnessed the power of human ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. And Commander Lyra, who had laughed at the idea of human warriors, could no longer deny the truth. Humans were a force to be reckoned with, unique, extraordinary, and unforgettable. The twin suns of Zithra rose slowly over the plains, bathing the crystalline towers in soft violet light. The humans had completed the arena of trials, earning the respect of Zithran warriors and even the admiration of Commander Lyra herself. Yet the day ahead promised something even more significant than recognition. It promised a new beginning. Captain Alex Rains and his crew gathered outside their camp, preparing to meet Lyra formally. The final trial had proven their strength, strategy, and adaptability. Now it was time to build trust, the kind of bond that would last far beyond the trials. Lyra approached with a measured gait, her eyes bright with newfound respect. She was flanked by her elite warriors, all of whom now regarded the humans with admiration rather than doubt. "Humans," she began, her voice carrying authority, "you have not only survived our trials but have shown qualities we rarely witness. Courage, ingenuity, and teamwork, these are your true strengths." Alex bowed slightly in acknowledgement. "Thank you, Commander Lyra. We came to learn, and we hope to show that humans are capable of more than appearances suggest." "Your respect is an honor," Lyra smiled faintly. "Respect is earned, Alex Rains, and your team has earned it many times over. But respect alone is not enough. Zithra and your people can achieve greater things together." The humans and Zithrans began walking toward the city, the crystalline towers gleaming in the morning light. As they moved, Lyra explained her vision. A partnership between humans and Zithrans, sharing knowledge, culture, and resources. "Your species has shown creativity and resilience beyond our expectations," she said. "We can learn from each other, strengthen one another, and face the challenges of this galaxy united." Alex nodded thoughtfully. "Humans believe in collaboration and ingenuity. We are eager to learn from your experience as well. Together we can achieve far more than alone." The city itself was breathtaking. Massive crystalline structures rose like jagged mountains, reflecting the light of the twin suns and creating a network of dazzling reflections. Streets were lined with holographic displays showing Zithran history, culture, and achievements. Humans walked carefully, taking in the beauty while respecting the alien architecture. Lyra led them to the central plaza, where a ceremony was prepared. Young Zithran warriors, elders, and citizens had gathered to witness the humans' recognition. Alex noticed that even the youngest Zithrans, who had once mocked humans, now watched with awe and curiosity. The ceremony began with Lyra speaking to the crowd. "Today we honor our visitors, humans from the distant planet Earth. They have demonstrated courage, intelligence, and perseverance. They faced our trials and the unexpected dangers of our world with honor. Today they are not only our guests, they are our allies," the crowd murmured, a mixture of approval and surprise. Alex and his team stepped forward, their posture humble yet proud. Mara whispered, This is incredible. "They really are recognizing us as equals," Alex nodded. "It is more than recognition, Mara. It is the start of something greater. Let's show them that humanity is ready for partnership, not just trials." Lyra handed Alex a ceremonial emblem, a symbol of Zithran honor and trust. "With this, we formally welcome humans as partners of Zithra. May our alliance bring knowledge, strength, and peace." Alex accepted it respectfully. "We are honored. Together we will face the galaxy's challenges, learn from one another, and grow stronger." The crowd erupted in applause. Zithran warriors clapped their hands and stomped in unison, a traditional show of respect and acknowledgement. Even the elders, who had long been skeptical of humans, nodded in approval. Over the following days, humans and Zithrans began working together. Humans shared their technology, ideas, and problem-solving methods, while Zithrans offered knowledge of advanced combat tactics, planetary science, and survival strategies. Each species learned from the other, creating solutions neither could have achieved alone. Alex spent time with young Zithran cadets, teaching them basic human problem-solving exercises. "Strength is not just about muscle," he explained. "It's about observing, thinking, and acting together." The cadets listened intently, their eyes wide with curiosity. Many had expected humans to be weak, but now they saw how powerful intellect and courage could be. Mara worked closely with Lyra's advisors on planetary defense strategies. "Humans approach problems differently," she said. "We think in steps, anticipate variables, and use collaboration as a tool. Combining that with your instinct and technology makes a powerful combination. Lyra observed the collaboration with satisfaction. Perhaps I was wrong to laugh at humans, she admitted to herself. They are not weaker, they are different. And their differences make them extraordinary. One evening, Alex and his team stood on the cliffs overlooking the city, the twin moons casting shimmering reflections across the plains below. We've accomplished much in a short time, Mara said softly. The Zitherans respect us, the planet is safe, and yet, it feels like we've only begun. Alex nodded, gazing at the horizon. We have. Respect and trust are just the beginning. What matters now is what we do with it. If we continue to act with courage, intelligence, and cooperation, humans can be a force for good not just here, but across the galaxy. As night fell, Zithra's sky filled with stars. The humans and Zitherans stood together, a symbol of unity and possibility. The trials had tested their limits, but they had risen above them. Strength, strategy, and adaptability had proven invaluable. Yet it was the spirit of collaboration that truly forged the bond between species. The next morning, Lyra invited Alex and his team to participate in a joint exploration mission. Humans and Zitherans would travel to distant regions of the galaxy, combining their skills to map new planets, study unknown phenomena, and protect civilizations from unforeseen threats. Alex looked at the expedition team, smiling faintly. This is what we've worked for, he said. Not just survival, not just trials, but a chance to make a real difference. Mara adjusted her gear and grinned. I never thought I'd see humans recognized as allies by a species like the Zitherans. It feels incredible, Eli laughed softly. We proved them wrong. And we did it with intelligence, courage, and teamwork. Lyra watched them, her expression thoughtful. Humans may not be warriors in the way we expected, but they are remarkable in ways we rarely see. I look forward to learning more from them, and perhaps teaching them as well. Over the following months, the alliance between humans and Zitherans grew stronger. Trade, knowledge exchange, and joint missions flourished. Humans learned new ways to approach challenges, while Zitherans gained insight into human creativity, patience, and adaptability. Together they faced cosmic storms, explored uncharted planets, and even mediated conflicts between other alien civilizations. Through these experiences, humans proved time and again that bravery was not limited to strength, speed, or instincts. It was found in courage, intellect, and the willingness to act for the greater good. Zitherans learned to value ingenuity as much as power, and humans discovered resilience and honor in a species they once thought untouchable. Lyra often reflected on the first day the humans arrived. She remembered the laughter, the doubt, and the disbelief. Now she understood that humans were not to be underestimated. They had faced every trial with heart, intellect, and determination, and in doing so, had earned a permanent place in Zithra's history. The humans, in turn, realized that the galaxy was a place of endless possibilities, where differences could be strengths and alliances could create extraordinary outcomes. Captain Alex Rain stood on the cliffs once more, gazing at the horizon, and felt a sense of pride, not in victory alone, but in the connections forged and the respect earned. As the twin moons rose, casting silver light over the plains, humans and Zitherans alike knew that this was just the beginning. Together they had proven that courage, intelligence, and collaboration could overcome any obstacle. Together they had created a legacy of unity and possibility that would be remembered for generations. And so, the humans who had once been laughed at for their perceived weakness had shown that strength comes in many forms. Courage, ingenuity, and the ability to face the unknown without fear. Zithra had witnessed a new kind of heroism, one that would inspire countless others across the stars. Alex turned to his team, his eyes shining with determination. We've done more than survive, he said. We've built trust, respect, and friendship. That is what makes humans extraordinary. Mara smiled, looking at the alien warriors now walking beside them. And we've proven that even in a world that doubts us, courage and intelligence can create incredible change. Lyra, walking at the head of the group, finally smiled openly. I no longer laugh at the notion of human warriors, she said. They are extraordinary not because they are like us, but because they are human. And that is a gift the galaxy should never overlook. As the humans and Zitherans continued their journey together, it was clear that the trials had changed more than just perceptions. They had forged a lasting alliance, a testament to courage, respect, and the incredible potential of collaboration. The stars above Zythera glittered like promises waiting to be fulfilled, and for the first time, humans were truly seen as equals in the galaxy, a symbol of hope, ingenuity, and heroism that would echo across worlds for generations to come.